Okie dokie. Oop. So, monthly review. You fucked up pretty bad, but let's see what. It's maybe you got something going on. Here's essentially what happened. You tried to make YouTube videos for a month, and it failed so far pretty pathetically. I'm here to look at the stuff that didn't go pretty good, to everything that went borderline pretty shit. And we're gonna go through what I think you should do to improve. First of all, let's look at what you did. You made 11 videos back to back, one a day, which was a pretty good start. And then for some reason you decided to stop and you didn't upload for 2 weeks, which was the point where you had a big project idea and you just ended up not doing anything because you were procrastinating and you actually didn't have a lot of skills to back your ideas up. So there was no way that was gonna go well. And then you didn't learn anything from that, and you tried to make a video about Blender, which you also set out to do in a week, which made you realize that this was not actually the problem and you couldn't really fix the fact that you still had no idea what you were doing. So you had to cut this video drastically short and it ended up going really horribly. And now we have the middle of the next week and you haven't produced a video yet. So let's try to first of all figure out how you would get good, right, if you didn't do a horrible job. Let's build it up from truth. Build up from truth, what I mean by that, I mean, let's look at what you definitely think is true and why you're not using that and how you could use it. People that are really good at something, first of all, they start doing it. They do it for a really long time, really consistently, and they don't stop and they always improve. And then they do a lot of it. That's how people get good. I think you won't find someone who didn't have to do any of those things to get really good. Let's start with starting. There was this really cool conversation between Stephen King and Tolkien. And Tolkien asked, why do you think you can write so much? Because whenever I write, everything I write seems to suck and I feel like I have no talent. And that's crazy because that's the author of Game of Thrones. And so he's clearly very much skilled. He just has a weird relationship to it. And Stephen, not in that interview, but in general, just said he writes one word at a time and he writes 6 pages a day and then he's done, whether they're good or not. How can we apply that part? Just first thing in the morning, start making stuff. And get disattached from whether the stuff you're making is actually good, because you need to be able to just produce outcome. Like, just if you want to learn how to do push-ups, just start making 1 push-up and then tomorrow do 2. If you say, I'm gonna, wait for the perfect moment to do 1,000 push-ups, I don't think that's gonna go very well. Next up, consistency. I feel like that one kind of writes itself, but the thing that you were lacking in your 11 days was patience. We need patience for outcome. We need patience on how fast we can crank up the improvement, how many things we can learn at once. And that's something you definitely have to fix for the next month. Lastly, we have improvement. Improvement can be between videos, but also inside of one video, meaning you just do a take and then you watch it and then you look at what you can improve and you just redo it. Redo it in a better version. And you just keep doing that and keep doing that. Lastly, after you've done those things, you've started, you're consistent with it, and you do better every time by just looking at what you can improve. Now you crank up the volume, not before, not in any other time. Now you can just do more of this process that gets you the return of being better. Right now you are able to do your push-ups, you need to, you're training dialed in, you're improving every day. And now to get really good, you just do more of that, right? Maybe you go twice a day. If you want to be Mr. Olympia, you train for like 2 to like 6 hours, I think, every day. So they started consistent and then they went up in volume. What does that mean for you specifically? Well, if you want to make YouTube videos, you need to be really good at making videos. Here's the plan. In the morning, you wake up, you make one small video, you never upload it, that's just the starting point. Now you warmed up, now you already made something and you get in the habit of making stuff. Next up, use a calendar, physical or digital, and you just cross up every time you do it. Like going to the gym, you just log your progress. Don't miss 2 days in a row, just never stop. Next up, versions. I think now that this concept is in place and you start and you're always noting off when you do it, you make versions within these videos, right? So you have started, you're making them. While you're making the video, you just watch it, see if you can do better, and you improve while you make the video. And lastly, you improve throughout every day. So not only you're going to improve by making stuff, you're also going to improve throughout the days. So what that means for what I would love to see for next month is essentially 30 videos. And maybe for yourself, you say version or V at the moment, so I can know how many times I actually end up redoing these videos, especially if it's talking head content. Because this should be your only goal, right? You're not in a position at all where it matters what anyone thinks who sees this, because you don't even have a skill set to entertain anyone, right? Imagine you had 1 million subscribers right now, you would lose them all because you cannot provide good enough content for 1 million people to care to be subscribed to you, right? Because they're not happy to see you. And so this next month has to be completely for yourself. You just sit down, start, make a short video. I would completely leave out things that take a lot of time. Editing, thumbnails, all that stuff, because something like thumbnails is important for people to have like viewer attention, right? To get people to your videos. But that's not the goal right now. The goal right now is to improve the content of the video. And of course, getting good at making really good thumbnails, like, I agree, I get it, right? Maybe you can put some effort into that. Maybe that's something for later. But right now it's about, would I want to watch this video? And what do you as a person have to provide for someone to even care about you? And I think that's a really good goal for next month. So this is hopefully going to go on YouTube. We're going to do our little X for today. And the next 30 days, I mean, it's end of October, so 30 days. No, actually 31 days. 31 days, back to back. Hopefully not miss more than a day. Seems like a pretty good plan. Let's go.